Everything is just perfect.
I really like the way she turned out. The genius idea compared to all. Good morning, how are you guys doing today? Welcome to a new week of crochet. I'm just getting started today. It is Wednesday, the 19th of February, and if you don't know me, my name is Tasha. I run a small business called Crochet by Tasha, where I love to make crochet plushies and anything related to crochet. I love to go to markets, I love to sell on Etsy, and I mostly love to find patterns that are adorable and share them with you guys. So yesterday I decided to pull up my pattern for Mama Makes Yarn. She makes these little peg dolls. I call them peg dolls. I'm not sure, I can't remember what she calls them, but they are so cute. I completely sold out of these last year and I decided to go ahead and make some. So I just got a new shipment of Knotty Ball Yarn XL, and I thought this would be a great opportunity for me to try that yarn out with something super easy. And so last night I sat down and I made 3 of them. I'll show you the ones that I had made out of Bernat. This is the bear. So there's 2 different sets, I believe, that she has. One is a set of farm animals and the other one is woodland creatures. And I made them last summer and I became obsessed and I made a whole bunch of them, but I did sell out of them. I sell these for $15. I was selling them for $14, but I moved them up to $15. So this is the bear. I embroidered his eyes. They're just the easiest creatures to make and they're perfect for little kids to carry around and hold. There is some issue with the neck, so I think it's a really good idea to stuff the neck a little bit more than I did on this one. They do include poly beads. I have a bag of my poly beads here, and it is best if you have the little pantyhose that look like this. I actually need to buy some more. And then what you do is you just fill up the bottom of the pantyhose and then tie a knot and then cut it. And then now it's opened on this end. So then I'll just tie a knot so the poly beads don't fall out. And then I can make another little pouch. And I can probably get 2 or 3 more pouches out of this one pantyhose. So I should probably get like a regular size pair of pantyhose because that will last me a really long time. But I usually put about a 1/4 cup of poly beads into the plushie, and what it does is it allows it to stand up and it gives it just a little more weight. I bought this Dreamland yarn. Oh my gosh, I love this yarn. I love the way it turned out. I'm so glad that I bought 2 of them because I know I'm going to want to make other things with it. It just has a nice variation of speckling, and I'll grab the skein in a minute and show it to you guys. So this is the frog. I usually do embroidered eyes, but I really feel like the frog looks better with these big plastic eyes. And so I made the frog, and then I also made the deer. I think the deer was my favorite one that I made last year. I stuffed his neck a lot more. So you can see when I do this, his neck doesn't move around. He has the poly beads also, and they just are really nice creatures. You crochet from the bottom up. There's no sewing. Wait, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. On the deer, I had to make the ears separately and sew them on. And the frog, I had to make the eyeballs and sew them on, but literally it took me like a bear out of, and all of this is Knotty Ball yarn. Well, no, I'm sorry. This is Dreamland. These are Knotty Ball. It's a really nice yarn, you guys. If you're looking for a Bernat replacement, I think you might like this yarn. It is really soft. It's easy to work with. It did slightly hurt my hands last night, but I was also crocheting a lot. So I made the bear, and what I love about the bear is that the ears are surface crocheted and super easy to do. I did have to make the muzzle and sew that on. And then I used a felt, not a felt. It's like a fuzzy, it's like a safety eye, but it's like fuzzy material for the nose. And then I embroidered this little part right here, and then I put the eyes on. I went ahead and added a layer of hot glue underneath the eyes just to make sure they don't come out. I felt a little nervous doing that because, you know, with babies, you don't want to use safety eyes, but I wanted to make sure that those eyes stayed in there, and it looks so good with the plastic eyes. Here is the embroidered eyes compared to this one. And honestly, I didn't feel like embroidering the eyes. I just wasn't in the mood. So I'm going to continue making these today. The next one I'm going to make is the owl. And the owl is just adorable. I don't know if I'm going to want to use Naughty Ball yarn. I really like making the owl out of speckled chicken yarn. So I'll just see how that goes. On another note, I'm also 3D printing Easter eggs to put animals inside of, and I will show you guys that in just a second. This pattern I'm making in my bamboo lab. I do this on Maker World, which is where I get my patterns from. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to be, but it's called a knitted Easter egg. Knitted Easter egg boxes by Collecticraft. And let's go and check it out and see what it looks like so far. So this is the Easter egg. It looks super tiny. So I have to figure out what kind of a plushie I can put inside of that, if any. If it is too small, which it looks like it might be, I may have to find a bigger one, or I think I can actually scale this one up a little bit. But I'm using this really pretty green iridescent PLA, and I think it's gonna be really pretty. It only took an hour and a half to make this pattern, and I think it's almost done. The owl, I've decided on this really pretty speckled Sweet Snuggles light, and I'm double stranding it with Little Bunny gray fuzzy yarn, and this is how it's turning out. I think it looks really, really cute. It's going to be smaller than the other animals, but that's okay because the head is a little bit bigger, and I have my little pod of poly beads, and I'm getting ready to pop that right inside, and then I'm going to top it with stuffing. I cannot do this with one hand. I will show you guys what this looks like once I get into the head. My little cuddle critters, I looked it up, that's what she calls them. And wow, the owl is a lot smaller. I think next time I might combine Naughty Ball yarn, the white, with this gray fluffy yarn, and I'll get a little bigger owl. But look how cute he turned out. I did use Naughty Ball for his beak. You can see it has like a foamy texture. So cute. And on to our next cuddle critter, but I need to go check on my Easter egg. Progress. It's getting a little bit bigger. Starting to think about what I want to put in there. I'm thinking a little bunny, but turning out pretty nice. And I'm ready to show you guys my egg. I just pulled it out of the bamboo printer, and I'm just making sure that all the little pieces, because there are support pieces like this. This was on the inside, and then you have to like pop it out. But sometimes there are other little support pieces that you have to remove before it will close correctly. So I'm just trying to do that. But this is basically the size, which as you can tell is extremely tiny. And although I could find something to put in here, I think I would like to print it, I don't know, a little bit bigger. But it is a perfect size for Easter. Like if you wanted to put little treats in here, it would be really nice. The size, the texture, everything is just perfect. It doesn't shed, it doesn't split. It is just like the most perfect yarn. I am sold. I am sold on Naughty Ball XL. This is my new yarn. It does create pretty big creatures, so you have to take that into account. I used a 7mm hook, and I honestly could have gone bigger than that. I think the ball recommends 10. So yeah, this little guy is, I want to make a whole bunch of these. So I'm gonna look at my egg, maybe make it a half size bigger, and then I'm going to start making my next cuddle critter. But I will check in with you guys in a bit. I would need to either find the pattern that would fit inside of this or print one bigger to fit a certain size bunny. So I'm gonna do some research. And did I show you guys? Oh, I didn't show you. Last night I made another stingray. I made another baby squid out of the Naughty Ball XL, and I am in love. Like the size, the texture, it doesn't shed, it doesn't split.
It is just like the most perfect yarn. I am sold. I am sold on Naughty Ball XL. This is my new yarn. It does create pretty big creatures, so you have to take that into account. I used a 7mm hook, and I honestly could have gone bigger than that. I think the ball recommends 10. So yeah, this little guy is, I want to make a whole bunch of these. So I'm gonna look at my egg, maybe make it a half size bigger, and then I'm going to start making my next cuddle critter. But I will check in with you guys in a bit.
Hey there friends, today is Thursday, it's the next day. I'm so sad because I just filmed an entire video clip of everything that I crocheted last night and realized my microphone wasn't on. And I've done that before, and then I have to do voiceover, which is so awkward and weird. You can see my mouth moving, but you don't know what's coming out, and then I have to remember what I said, and it's always weird. So I decided to go ahead and just film it again. So today is Thursday, and it's about 1 o'clock. And I am just sitting down. I have already had a very busy morning, as I explained in my previous video that you haven't seen because I had to delete it. But I went to the emergency room with my husband because he had, I'm sorry, my camera's telling me I have 10% battery. My husband had a really swollen knee and it wasn't getting better. So we couldn't get an appointment with his cardiovascular doctor because we thought it might be a blood clot, maybe not a torn tendon. And we took him in and they did all the tests on him, and come to find out he has arthritis in his knee. So I was there all morning, just sitting there crocheting next to him while he was waiting. And I guess that's good news because you don't want another blood clot. He's had a blood clot before, and then a torn tendon would be bad because then he'd have to have surgery or whatever. So this is the best case scenario, but now we have to figure out what to do with an arthritic knee that's really swollen. So if you have any suggestions, let us know. They prescribed like an ibuprofen type cream, and from there we're not sure. So any suggestions would be helpful. But while I was in the waiting room, I crocheted another frog. So this is 15 and my goal is 20. And I love this yarn color. This is Bernat, and it is called Grassy. And I just absolutely love it. I noticed that I single crocheted on the arms instead of slip stitch, but that's okay if it looks a little different. I also freehanded this frog, so I think he looks a little bit different than my other ones, but close enough. And since I only had that yarn with me, I thought, why not make another baby squid? It does have 11 tentacles because I was, talking to doctors and stuff while making him, and somehow he has 11 arms. So that's all right. I just need to finish him, stuff him, add his eyeballs, and then close him up, and he will be done. And I think that will make my 4th squid. And then I want to show you all the crazy crocheting I did last night. I had it in my mind to make all of the cuddle critters, or one of each of the cuddle critters, for Mama Makes Yarn. And I know I showed you some of them, so I'll go through them quickly so you don't have to hear a repeat. I'm pretty positive I already showed you the bear, and this is Naughty Ball yarn. And he has a little muzzle. So the muzzle is made separately. You sew it on, and then the ears are surface crocheted. And then I also made a deer. I don't think I showed this to you, but maybe I did. This is the only one besides the frog that has separately crocheted ears that you sew on, but it's not a big deal. And then I also made the frog out of Dreamland yarn. Pretty sure I showed you this yesterday. So cute. So adorable. Want to use this yarn for a lot more projects. So glad I bought 2 of them. And then I also made the fox. He has a separate muzzle like the bear. And super easy to make. Look at this yarn. It's gorgeous. It has all the beautiful shades of brown. It has that like terracotta color that I've bought before. It has like that dark brown. I wish they would, I don't know, maybe they do sell this brown, but if so, my Joann's didn't have it, but so cute. I'm thinking of adding a white eye detail to all of these. I think it would give them a lot more character. And I think I showed you this one too. I made the owl out of Little Bunny and Bernat. I want to make him again with Naughty Ball yarn because it's bigger, and Little Bunny to get that bigger looking owl, but so cute. Okay, and I also made the duck version. This is the farmland version. I made it in mallard and chick. So adorable. This is Naughty Ball brown. This is double stranded premier, Naughty Ball white, and Bernat green. So I mixed 3 different kinds of yarn and I think it looks amazing. 7mm hook for all of these. Definitely gonna add the eye detail. This one has some like stuffing coming out. I'm not sure why. And then I also made a chicken. This one came out a lot smaller. I used this speckled yarn that I use for chickens. And I think it's just a little bit of a thinner yarn, but love the hot pink comb. So cute. That's all Bernat. Really adorable. My favorite is the pig. Look how cute. Look at this colorway. I think this is like pretty in pink or something like that, something pink. If I make him again, I'm going to make the snout all one color instead of variegated because I think that would look a little more like a pig, but so cute. Just love the way he turned out. And then I also made a cow. Oops, and I made the cow in brown so that it won't get dirty when little hands are carrying him around. But look how cute he is. So adorable. I think I want to make a Highland cow version of this. And then this is one that I already had. This is just like a mallard. So overall I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I made 10 and I already had 2. So now I have 12 cuddle critters, which is a good amount. And the last thing that I made were, I wanted to try the little flocker birds in Naughty Ball yarn, and oh my gosh, they're huge. I made the cardinal and the eagle. Look how round the eagle came out. So fluffy, so huge. Now for this one, I started with the little hairs on top, and then you crochet around them. For this one, I didn't. And I think that's why it came out a little bit rounder and not so pointed on the top. But overall, I think that they turned out really cute. I did 7mm hook, and I think I'm going to charge $15 for these. So that is all of my crochet that I did yesterday. My hands were like this last night when I went to bed. I was like, what am I doing to myself? So today, I think I'm going to work on releasing my wombat pattern on Etsy and Instagram. And I need to do a couple other things on the computer. So kind of focus my attention on that. Also pricing all of these things that I just made because I have a market on Sunday. So I will check in with you guys in a little bit, and hopefully I have released my pattern when I talk to you again. Next, I'm going to tag all of my snugglers, big and small, with my leather branding tags. And I got these off of Etsy. I'll link them down below, but it just says Crochet by Tasha, and it has a little ball of yarn. And it's super easy because you just put this little peg through that hole, and then you just snap it on, and there it is. Now all of my snugglers, these are the only things that I brand. I don't brand anything else. Yeah, I think it looks really good. It looks professional. I think it's supposed to be like this. Yeah, it's supposed to be like that, I believe. If you think it's not supposed to be like this, let me know. But I can't believe it's already Saturday. The week has gone by so fast, but I need to check in with you guys because I have been super busy. The first thing I want to show you is that I have printed with my 3D printer 4 eggs, and I came up with a great idea because I had a really hard time coming up with what will fit inside of these eggs because they're so tiny. A chick fits perfectly inside the egg, which is very appropriate, and then you can just shut the lid on top. So my plan moving forward is to make more of these little chicks. I like this one with the speckled yarn. Normally I crochet the egg, but I thought it would be fun to sell some in the PLA also. So that's my plan moving forward for that. My bamboo printer is having problems though. It's supposed to print. Let me see if this one printed smoothly. That is a little bit scratchy on top. But look at the top of this one. This is the last one that I did, and it's really scratchy. And if you look at the bottom, it looks like it's been rubbed with sandpaper or something. So I'm not sure what is going on. My PLA printer my bamboo printer is having issues. I went in last night, I was printing some eggs, and there was just like plastic everywhere. So I don't know what is going on. I wish my son-in-law was here because he would figure it out in 5 seconds. So we'll have to see. I did make this little bunny, so cute, to see if that would fit inside the egg, but it didn't. And then I had this egg that I printed a while back. So if you see the difference between these 2 eggs. And this fits pretty well in here, but it kind of isn't. It's cute, but it's not, in my opinion, big enough, but let's see. Actually, maybe too tall. So that's kind of cute. I just feel like this egg is a dragon egg. If you look at the outside, it looks like scales, where this egg is called a knitted egg, and it's just a little bit more appropriate to have chicks inside of this one and dragons inside of this one. I did purchase a small dragon pattern that I want to try out this week coming up, and I'm gonna see if that will fit into the smaller egg because my other eggs are like really big, and those are for a different kind of dragon. Okay, next I bought a pattern pack called 8-in-1, and it's by Crochet Calls. It's the berry cows. Oh my gosh, you guys. There's a grape cow, a blueberry cow, a banana cow, and a strawberry cow, and each cow has 2 different versions. And I made the grape cow. I just can't get enough of this cow. I actually used the Naughty Ball XL yarn for her body, and I loved it, but I ran out of that white yarn, or I would have immediately made another one. I thought of making like a brown cow. I think that would be cute for like maybe the strawberry cow, like a strawberry chocolate milk cow. This outfit is completely separate. You have to crochet it separately, but it's very easy. You just crochet one leg, then the other one, then you join, and then you start this piece right here separately and work your way up. The grapes are just embroidered on by hand, and this is the back. And when you complete the bib, you just single crochet the side pieces to where they attach in the back. And I made sure that I did like extra stitching here. My favorite part are the horns. The horns are 3 different pieces. Well, 2 different pieces. It's the grapes at the bottom. So you make that with the green piece, and then you make this grape separately, and then you sew that on. And I just think it really finishes her off. I used my grassy yarn for the green part so that you would get a couple different colors in there. And then this is just like some kind of a chenille yarn that I had left over. But what a cutie. I wish I had more of them because I think they would be so cute on the table. Yeah, I really like the way she turned out. I think she's one of my favorite things I've made so far. And the other thing I wanted to tell you about is I was accepted to Old Soul Factory's pattern test for her newest turtle. And she is great at making turtle patterns that are no-sew. And these little flippers, it's a really genius idea compared to all of the other turtle patterns I've seen because you do rows. You make rows for each of the flippers. And the left side is different than the right side. Otherwise, your flippers would be facing the same direction and it wouldn't look right. But I used this Dreamland Cabbage Patch yarn, and I love the way it turned out. When I saw it, I knew it was going to make a perfect turtle, and I just loved the way it turned out. I wanted to add some painted eyes, but for some reason, I have a whole bunch of 25 millimeter eyes, and I don't have any more of the cutbacks because I used to purchase the flat backs, and then I switched to cutbacks, which makes them sink. And so now I have a bunch of eyes left over with no backs. So I had to order more eyes, but then that's just going to give me even more eyes and half the amount of backs. Do you guys know of any way that you can purchase just the backs? Because that's what I need to do for all the sizes. I have twice the amount of eyes than I have backs, and it's really getting frustrating. But I went ahead and did the black eyes because I thought they still looked cute. And then I used this variegated brown yarn that I recently purchased. I cannot remember the name of it right now, but I love all the brown shades. So I just need to take pictures of him, and get that sent off because I really like the way he turned out. He was super quick and easy to make. I would definitely make more of these. Okay, and the last thing that I worked on was market prepping chickens. I don't remember how many chickens I have, but it's not a lot. I think I may have 5 or 6 chickens that are this size. So last night I sat down and watched Love is Blind, the newest season, and I decided to just make a bunch of different random chickens. Instead of like all the same color, I just randomly chose whatever colors looked interesting to me. So I did one in this brown color, and yes, I still need to add the combs and the eyes, but I'm gonna do that all at the same time. So I have this brown one. I love the way this one turned out. I definitely want probably to make another one like this because this is like a realistic chicken color. And I made another one in this new Bernat yarn that I recently purchased that's really pretty. And I made one in Mystical yarn, this like really pretty mulberry color. I made one black. And then I was having fun. I went ahead and used the Honey Bunny multicolored yarn. It looks like this. Honey Bunny multicolored yarn with a yellow Premier Parfait. And it gave me this really pretty like Easter chick look, and I just think it's so cute. I love it. It's super fluffy. And along the same lines, I used gray Premier Parfait and gray Little Bunny, and I got this like really fluffy chick look. Then I grabbed my Bloom yarn and I made one, and then I made another body, which I haven't stuffed yet. And then I decided just to make a solid pink chicken. And then today I was back at the doctor with my husband, and so I made 2, and I cannot remember the name of this yarn. I want to say it's Snow Cone yarn in yellow. I've had this yarn for a really long time, and I remembered that I loved the way it looks in a chicken, so I made 2 bodies. So that gives me a total of 12 chickens to add to my inventory for my market, which is tomorrow, by the way. And so now I need to get all these combs finished and the eyes, and then I will check back in with you and show you how they all look. Okay, you guys, I'm ready to reveal my little chickens, and I thought it would be nice to look at them from this angle because then you can see how many there are. I did count my past inventory, and I had 5 previous medium-sized chickens, and now I have 17 medium-sized chickens. This one is my favorite because this yarn is so stretchy. This is the Snow Cone yarn, and it comes out so puffy. And I also like this gray one. So these are all my chickens. I just need to tag them and get them put away. You can see my crab in the distance. Look how messy this table is, you guys. There's my turtle by Old Soul Factory. And you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this vlog here because tomorrow I have a market. And take a minute and look at this eye really quick before I... Look how pretty this is. This is that paint that I bought at Michael's that I wanted to, or no, Joann's, that I wanted to try out. And I thought it was gonna be like colored, but it's really cool. It's kind of like a white iridescent I've only put 2 layers on, but so far I like it. Anyway, it's so nice to have you guys along with me this week, and tomorrow I will be filming my my market vlog, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my weekly crochet video next week. I hope you have a really great weekend wherever you are and whatever you're doing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.